What's going on, guys? Okay, so I'm gonna invite Julian. His idea. Oh, I guess he has to. He has to request. Invite someone to join. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna be doing the fixed stars and how they are literally like the most important. They can be the most important thing. What's up, Julian? How you doing, my friend? I don't really hear you that well.
Oh, really?
Wait, hold up. Is my audio off?
No, your audio is good. Your audio is good.
One sec, I need to reconnect. Hold on. But anyways, I was just saying how yeah, is this connected? Does it sound good? The audio?
You sound fine. You sound fine.
Okay. Well,
What? Probably my
I'm
phone.
gonna these aren't working. Whatever. But anyways, yeah. So it's not working on my lives. Aren't working on my main account. I'm telling you guys that I've done nothing. So whatever. This is my backup. So yeah, Julian had the idea of doing a little live today, talking about the fixed stars. How important they are, and he has a course also where he's teaching about this. So I thought it'd be fun to have a quick little live for everyone watching. Talk about this. So Julian, when we say fixed stars, what do we mean?
Yeah. So we're talking about the stars that don't move in the sky. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just trying to
Awesome.
have like some kind of better system, but I hear you fine.
Yes. Okay. Beautiful. So if you think about it, you look at the sky, right, and you see the planets: Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, bloody. Are everything else. All the other stars that don't move, or they move, but they move very slowly. So that's what we're talking about, is stars that are not the planets. That's why they're fixed. And this is the most powerful technique in astrology, according to the Grand Master himself, Hermes Trismegistus. So this is something to really stay tuned for. I'll let you. Do you want to take?
Yeah.
Experience now with this, which is.
I mean, first of all, my audio is screwing up so bad. But yeah, fixed stars. I was just looking at Andrew Tate. This crazy guy who's famous for no reason. I mean, it's just there's a million people who have done what he's done and who have not become anywhere near anywhere near fame. If you go, I just go on my YouTube, everything, look at it right now. You guys probably can't see, but now 6 out of my top 10 most recommended are this guy, Andrew Tate. And I looked at this chart. I did a little premature reading. I got the original birth time wrong. It was just it was wrong. It was it was December 16th instead of the 1st. And when I got the right one, he had, so there's 4 royal stars, right, as we know, and then Spica's it's kind of like there's the top 5, right? It's the 4 royal, and then Spica's kind of I'm just as good. And he has Antares. So when we have fixed stars, right, it's all about the conjunctions, the direct conjunctions where it's extremely close, right? Those are the ones that give fame. Is it between 0.15 or 0.10? What's the?
Yeah, probably the really close ones, a quarter of a degree, 0.15 of a degree, 0.12, or 0.2.
Yeah.
But we could also say between around half a degree either side. It's probably strong enough.
Right. So when I was looking at this guy's chart, in 1 second, of course, I look for the sun and moon. I see them in Sagittarius. I know that around 4 or 5 something, it's Antares. And I saw that sun and the moon stuck together on Antares. And I didn't even look at any other parts of the chart. I didn't really care about what his rising was. I didn't care about his Mars conjunct Jupiter and Pisces. Nothing else mattered. Just the fact that he freaking had moon and sun, the 2 most important parts of your chart, conjunct Antares exact conjunction. The moon was like within that 0.15 range. So it's just like game over. That's why he's like everywhere. And we're on the phone. We were talking about this, right? Like, because like I just saw in the comments someone says like, you know, he seems very unhealed. All this and what's up, everyone. So yeah, so me and Julian, like we had like a few minute conversation before this, and we were like, you know, it's funny because like you can have someone who's just like the most like messed up, like they're just like there's like all the rest of their chart. Let's say they have like all the like the most difficult like aspects and this and that. But if they have the ascendant, the midheaven, the moon, even the sun, right? Like those are the main ones, right? Like in a tight conjunction with one of those four, maybe would you add Spica or not?
Probably not add Spica.
Okay, so one of the four royal stars, Antares, Aldebaran, Fomalhaut, and Regulus. Then you could just be famous, but fucked up and famous. And that's why we see so many fucked up and famous people.
Yep, that's exactly right. And it's like you hear about all these like famous writers and things who have like these tragic lives where like their wife dies or their children die or just like these horrible events in their lives. And like my favorite example is Shia LaBeouf, right? He's got this tragic chart of like the planets are just tragic, and then like you see it in his life, right? He was born in like a trailer park. His dad was a heroin addict. His mom was not much better. Just horrible beginning, but he has an extremely tight conjunction with Regulus, and that's what made him extremely famous, extremely successful.
How tight is it?
It's within 1/6 of a degree, so like 0.15 or something. 0.15, something like that. Very, very, very close. So yeah, it's in that extreme fame range, absolutely. And I think Picasso is the same, right? He's got also quite a tough, tragic chart, but he has the moon within 0.2, I think, of Antares, or 0.1 of Antares.
North Node, right? North Node and Moon conjunct Antares.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And so he also has these big tragic events in his life, but he's extremely famous and successful, and everyone knows who he is. So the stars are not to be messed with. That's for sure. That is for sure. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think what a lot of people would ask, right? You know, let's say you have Regulus rising, right? Like me. Or let's use a different example. I hate using myself as an example. Let's say you have your moon conjunct Aldebaran, but it's like 1.3 away, or your sun or like your ascendant conjunct Fomalhaut, but it's like a degree separated. Like, what do you say about that? Because like that's what a lot of people will be commenting when I make posts about fixed stars. Like, oh, I have this, but it's like you have to understand that these, like, it has to be so effing close. I'm watching my words because I don't want to be able to not do lives. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Maybe it's I think they read your DMs, and I think I just go off in my DMs sometimes. So maybe I have to like censor my DMs too, which is awesome. I love this. But yeah, like, what would you say about that? This is not alcohol. This is kombucha.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Living the life. Yes, that's right. I would basically say, like, so that extreme fame, which is like, yeah, world, exactly like you said, like world fame, it needs to be very, very, very tight. But they will have an influence, right? They have quite a wide influence. So even if you have the sun or the moon within a few degrees, like 2 or 3 degrees, it'll still, the character of the star will still express itself in you, you know. So like if you say you've got Regulus or Antares and it's a few degrees, you'll still be like a leader. You will be successful. People will look up to you. People will follow you. You'll have a good life, you know, like a relatively easy life, like materially, with like a good status and a good amount of influence over people. So they still carry over their power, but it decreases. So, like, it decreases a lot, but it's decreasing a lot away from extreme fame. So, like, it's like, instead of it being like, oh, if you had an exact Regulus, you'd just be a nice sort of leader kind of guy. And then if it's a few degrees away, it doesn't have any influence. It's not like that. It's more like if you have it exact, you just have this insane destiny where everyone knows who you are and you have shitloads of money. You know, you never have to worry, basically.
No choice either. Like, even if you like fuck up, like, and become a heroin addict, like, you're still getting that fame.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yep. Whereas if it's a few degrees away, it kind of decreases from that strong fame. It becomes more about like being a leader in your field, having a good reputation in your field, having a wide influence in your certain area. So it decreases it a bit, but it's still fucking nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many examples. It's crazy. I was looking. Yeah, there's so many examples. It's crazy. I was looking up Van Gogh's to see if I saw anything, but it doesn't look like. Well, I don't know. He has a Sag moon, but it doesn't look like it's on Antares. Yeah, and then Gemini, nothing. So, nope, we were wrong. But yeah, so it's very interesting. And then there's other ones like Algol, obviously, Spica. Like, how many fixed stars would you say are really like? What are my cats doing? Are really like super super important?
Yes, that's a fucking great question. So there's really only about 30 to 35, which are like really important that can change someone's destiny. All the rest are extras. You know, they're just little bits and pieces that you can add in here for fun. But there's 30 bright stars, which are like, if you're not including them, you're really missing out on a huge, huge important part of astrology. And that's really what I want to share in this course. And we go into huge detail as well, right? So if you have a royal star, we've talked about the exact with a royal star, right, in one place. But what about if you have it with two places, like the sun with the MC with a royal star, or the moon with the ascendant and a royal star or something? What happens then? And we go into that, and that's much more powerful, obviously. So that's a big part of the course, and I mean, I decided to call it Fixed Stars and the Grand Introduction to Ancient Astrology.
That's the course.
Yes, that's the course. That's what it's going to be. That'll be out in July 19, July 20.
Which is in 3 days, 4 days.
Yeah, a few days. Yeah, 3 days. Yeah, 3 or 4
And
days.
how does it done? How is it done? Is it like different videos?
Yes, it's different lectures that I've recorded with a friend of mine. She wanted to learn about the stars, and I said, hey, fuck it, I've been meaning to make a course. Let's do it together. And so it's me kind of lecturing my friends, and they ask questions, and so it's more interactive talking.
Oh, cool. And what can you expect? So through that, and how much is the course too? I know you're in Australian dollars, but just so people know.
Yes, no, it'll be in US dollars. The full price is $50 US. It's 13 hours.
Wow, great value. I'm definitely gonna get it.
Cheap as possible. And first week it'll be 50% off, so it's gonna be a steal.
$25 for that? Damn. And so you can expect to learn about all 30 of those stars and kind of just like lots of the nuances. And what about is it just the stars, or are you going into Babylonian astrology, like the sex and the, like that stuff too, or just more sticking to the stars?
Yes, so there's several hours where it's very fixed on the stars, and then there's a lot of extras. So we do I even do some live readings where my friend pulls up a chart that I've never seen before, and I go into it, and I go into a little bit on house positions and what makes charts good, what makes charts bad, and also the spiritual areas of the zodiac. So what makes people interested in spirituality and priestly?
Yeah.
There's a lot of very hidden knowledge coming out through this course. So I really hope it'll change some people's lives, actually.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
Well, cool. What else can we talk about? I know we were going to keep it brief. Yeah, there's just so many examples. If like the stars rule all, and yeah, just like it's Andrew Tate is a perfect example of someone who clearly is not like like meant like he's meant for this fame. Donald Trump also, right? He has Regulus with exact conjunction on his rising.
Yeah, pretty much. It's about less than half a degree, so very close.
Yeah, and then he has North Node on his sun and South Node on his moon. So it's like, and then does he have Aldebaran? I don't even know. Is his sun? I have no idea.
I need to do
He does.
But yeah, he does have like Aldebaran near the sun in the 10th, and the moon I think is near Antares. I can't remember exactly, but
His moon, no, because his moon is the same as my moon. Me and him have the exact same moon and rising. So we have, so his moon's 21 Sag.
gotcha. End of school. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like Trump Jr. One guy at a Whole Foods once told me I look like Don Jr. I was like, okay, cool.
Fuck yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Do you want to just rattle off some names that are like that have like I could just rattle off some names who I know for sure are fixed stars related. So like we did
Pablo.
Elon, Shia LaBeouf, Napoleon Bonaparte,
Pablo Escobar,
Pablo Escobar,
the
yeah,
biggest.
Bruce, oh my God, there's a whole bunch. I know some like uber wealthy like billionaires who have Aldebaran, so they're not necessarily they are famous, but more about the wealth.
Isn't Antares like kind of like the hidden king of the underworld, and Regulus is like the shining king that everyone knows? Which makes sense with Andrew Tate because he's like very like his personality. The more you listen to him, like the more you kind of get sucked into the Tateism. It's kind of just he's such an engaging speaker. Like if he's talking about anything else besides women, it's like very like you just want more, you know. And I'm like no more Andrew Tate. It's just funny. It's hilarious. But that's the effect of the stars, you know? You just want to hear this motherfucker talk about kickboxing or like about like the world's economic system or whatever the hell he says, or his weird views I don't agree with about women. And I just want to hear more. I want to know all about it. It's crazy. It's so funny.
Yes, Antares is very controversial and very aggressive and against the grain for sure. Fascinating.
Yeah.
And yes,
That's very interesting.
Leo's here, the cosmic mom.
Yeah, we're both Leo. We're both Leo rising on Regulus. We have the exact same rising, right?
Exactly the same rising, within a degree.
Yeah. We're the best, the dream team. If we both lived in Australia or in Europe, we'd be making lives all the time, but it's tough with the time difference.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll go on with what you were saying.
Yeah, I think we can probably leave it there. I'll leave it with a quote from Hermes himself, the original revelation from Babylon. He says that even if all of the planets in a chart are bad, just one bright star will make the native achieve more than anybody ever thought possible.
Woo! I feel like my house is burning because of the heat of that quote. Hermes, he must have been like at every star. Well, he is Mercury, so.
It's true. My God, the chart of Hermes. All right. We'll get distracted.
Yeah. Well, cool. So yeah, I guess I wish I could post this in my main Instagram, but I guess I'm banned from lives, even though I never ever do lives. But that's good to know that I'm banned. Hopefully it doesn't last for that long. And thanks to everyone who follows me on here, because I could lose that account any day for no reason. You just never know. So gotta be prepared for the Armageddon. But anyways, guys, so yeah, so your course, you can I don't know, drop a link or something, or send it to me. I can put it in the post bio or whatever. Hopefully, there's no problems with me posting this live to my page. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. So cool. Alrighty. Well, you have a good one, and yeah, everyone. I'll post this so anyone who got in late can watch the whole thing.
Hell yeah, awesome. Thanks, my man. Always a
All
pleasure.
right. Thank you. Later. Bye. Bye, everyone.